Hey guys, and welcome back to Will It Work? We're just going to take the Dream of Dragons deck for another spin on the ladder. I really enjoyed it last time, but it's a very complex deck. There's a lot going on, there's a lot of decisions to be made, simply because you have to kind of react to what your opponents play and decide ultimately how you're going to win the game. The creations I added later I feel like helped a little bit because it does give us a more linear win condition. We can just use creation on our powerful creatures, especially a creature like Archon once it's turned. It's basically a 5 Faeria 6/6 with charge 2. Very powerful and can help us secure that victory. But in slower matchups, especially ingredient matchups, we can go for that Aurora's Dream, or we can try and get off like a solid Day of the Dragons combo, maybe failed experiment at Garadan for a board clear. There are a lot of different options for this deck, which probably makes it a little worse than a lot of the top tier decks, simply because more linear game plans with more solid options are going to be far more consistent when playing against a variety of decks in the metagame. This deck might do pretty well in a tournament if you're making a read on what people are playing. You can then adjust the deck accordingly, but overall it is going to have some difficulties. Just because, like I said, its game plan does need to adapt based on what it's playing against. Anyway, that's enough about the deck. Let's get back into the matches and see how I do. Alrighty, into our first match. We don't want to see this card. No way. Let's throw away the Windfall as well. Looking for that early Harvester. Plague Bearer has been kind of interesting, actually. In the original build, it was really good with the failed experiment. I still feel that way about it now, but what's different is I haven't had an opportunity to use it in a good situation. I feel I had maybe one or two in the previous episode, but overall, it was alright. It wasn't anything special, you could say. Now, I could set this up as a Harvester, but I probably won't play anything else on board. I guess we both suffer from it. And if my opponent does decide to remove it, say with a Deepwood Stalker, or maybe, I don't know, a Cypher's Wrath, if this is red-green, it's going to deal some damage, you're going to get some value out of it. So let's just do that. Let's go along the Archon paths, because my opponent's playing what I believe is a slower deck. We can just go explore here and play a Plague Bearer. My opponent's probably thinking, Plague Bearer? Who is this madman? Unless my opponent has watched the recent episode and knows exactly what I'm up to. Maybe I've given away my strategy. Let's see what happens next. Maybe we just see another land going off the side. Looks like it's gonna gear towards matching my Plague Bearer into a Willow. Okay, just getting that Willow down. Can challenge the Plague Bearer. Doesn't suffer too much as well if it does get cleared out. Now, Storm Spawn's not bad, actually, because I can just use this as a collector for a little while. I know it's expensive, but unless my opponent runs Crystal Flower or Blue, then I'm not going to be playing this now. I cannot risk this getting frogified. It's such a massive swing in my opponent's favor. And now I'm starting to kind of whiff on my draws. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do next. I could start building out this way. Just pass. I guess I could have went in the wells, but I believe this Willow's going to start moving towards my Plague Bearer. So what I might do next is just make a lake back here and just move back. I can sit back and relax if my opponent's playing ramp. Now, my opponent could be playing Day of the Dragons. It's possible. It could just become the new win condition for kind of a greedy green-blue ramp deck. I'm not sure. It's very hard to figure out sometimes what everyone's playing. Going for a 7-3. Wow, okay. It's not what I expected, I will be honest. We'll go lake down here. We can get this Lore Thief out. Aurora. And another Plague Bearer. So failed experiment Plague Bearers gonna kill these two guys. But now, if this 1/1 hits the Shifting Octopus, Plague Bearer is gonna clear it anyway. Yeah, let's just pass here. But the problem is, failed experiment is a card I don't want to use so much on Plague Bearers against blue, because I won't get anything out of my Storm Spawns otherwise. So it's a difficult card to use failed experiment. And there's a dream. Oh, if only I had that. Right, let's take a lake. Let's move this back. And we're just going to pass. So we're just building towards Dream now. I don't see a reason why I should be proactive, I guess. I can just play quite reactively. We might see a Frog Tosser come down. It's going to be a library. Okay. So both of us are in Dream range. Pick up the Yak attack. Not helpful. Let's take a draw. Draw might be dangerous because I want to draw a failed experiment, ideally. So I can failed experiment into the storm spawn, but yeah, it's looking difficult. Because if I do draw, and there is nothing I want to play, I'm in a bit of trouble. Okay. Alright, let's just wait, because we have Yak Attack Aurora off the Dream. It's pretty good. The Storm Spawns are a little sad, I must be honest. I do want to draw a failed experiment, and I'm actually not going to get much value out of this Dream. The Dream's not bad because I get a 0-cost Day of the Dragons. But I'd much rather use Day of the Dragons and then Aurora's Dream and then have the 0-cost. Oh, another Storm Spawn. Don't like this at all. My opponent's going to Dream next turn, I think. We could Dream. We drop a load of Storm Spawns anyway, I guess. We can use the Yak attack. I kill the library, actually, with the Yak attack. That's pretty good. I can double neutral around and just kill this. What I might do is I've just killed this Water Elemental. Kill the Forbidden Library. I could Aurora and kill this guy. But I don't really want to. Let's do it. Get rid of this. We can get rid of this as well. I guess I could leave this here. Because then I can just finish off the octopus with the 2 Yaks. So they're going to die to this anyway. And then I could just maybe play a Storm Spawn. Ah, actually, I could have moved this back and played Storm Spawn. That was an alternative. Yeah, let's get a Storm Spawn down. Just to see if there is a Frogify. Let's see if my opponent plays Dream. We could have a Dream Mirror right now. Does move back, does clear it out. So my Yak can finish it off. Takes a draw. A pretty lackluster Dream overall. Goes for the Frogify. Now I don't mind so much now because the Frogify has been used on Storm Spawn, but Storm Spawn didn't cost me anything. If I'd played that for 10 Faeria and passed and then got Frogified, it wouldn't be a very good it wouldn't be very good for us. Oh wow, just gonna board clear. That's okay, I'm fine with that. That's absolutely fine. Into Battletoads. Sure. We do have a Windfall. Right, let's get Low Thief down, let's draw some cards. I just really want to find Failed Experiment. Can I just not have a Failed Experiment? Am I not allowed? There we go. Right, just setting up the Plague Bearer just to clear out those frogs. I just want to get them taken out. I lose my Low Thief, but Low Thief's done the job. We might see Primeval Colossus. I have 3 Frogifies in hand. Some pretty good answers for that. Willow? Feed. Oh, Enchant. So this is not a Dream deck. This is Ramp Enchant, perhaps? My biggest problem right now is like it's going to be hard for me to get initiative back. Aurora. Okay. Maybe just wants a double collector. There's an Archon. So we can Windfall. Take a draw. Windfall again. Do we need to Windfall? That's the question. I can zero cost Frogify this into Archon in this position. It gives me a lot of reach. It does dodge the Willow. Maybe even Storm Spawn in this position. You know what? I'm just gonna gear up a Storm Spawn on either side here, and then just get rid of this, because now I'm just saying to my opponent, do you have all the transform effects? If I can get one Storm Spawn to die, it gives me a lot of options on the follow up, because now I've restricted my hand. I've just dumped my hand, opening up a Day of the Dragons combo for the future. So I can like Day of the Dragons, I can go into Garadan, I could go, I could Day of the Dragons into Azarai, just put a 6/6, just put a really powerful flyer down, which is just going to absorb a lot of an attack. So I just want to apply a bit of pressure now. I think this is just going to get Frogified, which is fine. Like I said, I can't wait for failed experiment here. I guess I could, but I'm not very patient here. I want the value out of these as soon as possible. So yeah, patience is not a virtue I currently have. So Zare isn't that great in this position. Tefra's okay. I could double neutral up this way into Tefra here, and then just buff Tefra buff herself. I could just go for Archons. We could play it safer. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just collect here. We're gonna Frogify this. Don't like this card. Go for an Archon in a pretty aggressive position now. We're just gonna. I'm gonna see if I can Tefra the Archon and just punch my opponent, because I still have a. We've seen 2 Frogifies now. Now the 3rd Frogify could come on the Storm Spawn, and then I could punch my opponent for 11. Pretty strong. It's hard to tell what my opponent actually has in terms. I mean, I could just go for Garadan at this point. I'd definitely go for Garadan now. Feels good. Made a land for me. Oh, hello, Magda. Nice to see you. Okay. I will build lands, because I want this to collect. This can double collect as well. This can move into collection. And I can Tefra on top of this. Oh, ho, 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 the dragons, they're going in. Looks good, guys. Look at this. Tefering Garadan joining forces. Well played. I don't think green. Oh, there's a Radiance. It's gonna dash down there. It's a Tiki healer as well. But I have too much power on board. Enchant. Into a library. Yep. That's gonna be it. And the library actually just sets up lethal on its own. You can just zip around here. Move here. Move here. Move here. And bam. Bam. Boom! Double dragon. Closing out the match there. The Garadan. I was very distracted by the Magda draw. But I did compose myself and see the Tefra line. Just going for that raw damage there. Good game. That was a lot of fun. Let's get into our next one. Alright guys, another game. Went pretty well last time. Do I have a Lore Thief to start things off? And then my opponent has Flight of the Mantas. That's going to give me an idea. That's interesting actually, that I already know that. Let's keep the Windfall actually. I want to keep this Windfall. I want to build up some Faeria. We don't have what we need for the Archon path yet, so my opponent's probably just going to build down one side and get those Flight of the Mantas down. And that's, you know, that's really interesting because I already know what my opponent's playing. Just because my opponent mulliganed before I finished my mulligan. I'm just going to stick this down here. Let's draw 2 cards. Lovely jubbly. And a Plague Bearer to boot. Plague Bearer did okay last time. I don't think I played Plague Bearer the best. I didn't use it in the best way. I did have a bit of a few clunky lines with it, but overall it was good. It was pretty solid. I was happy with it. It's hard to say now because let's say if I build a lake here, my opponent could double neutral. I might just go out. Maybe just go here. No, well, let's build towards this. Let's just challenge this at least, and we'll just pass, and we'll go for the Windfall when we need it. Now, I talked about this last time, but if you don't need to play your Faeria ramp cards like Windfall and Stormspawn, don't play them. Don't reveal them to your opponent. Failed Experiment's going to be very good because we know Flight of the Mantas exists, so we know my opponent's playing some kind of swarm deck, and I want my opponent to overextend as much as possible. Right, so this can move here and make an aggressive land. And I'm not about that. I do not want my opponent to make those lands. So I might just take one here. Maybe I just build in really defensive at this point. I guess I could take this here and I can take it here on the next turn. I just want to build towards the dream. Because right now I have a board clear. Maybe I should probably utilize that board clear right now. I could even Aurora this and then do it. I could Windfall into Aurora, Creation Aurora, then Failed Experiment into Plague Bearer, and then I have another Aurora for later on. Could be pretty impactful. It's 2. My opponent collects a lot of Faeria. I just put my opponent on 7 if I do the combo now, but I do kind of starve myself with a bit of Faeria. Let's actually, I don't need to Windfall yet. Let's just go for the Failed Experiment Plague Bearer line. It's good value. And I'm just, the purpose of doing it now rather than waiting is just making sure my opponent doesn't gain an additional free Faeria next turn. My opponent's now at 7, needs to rebuild. I know I'm in the same situation and my opponent does have initiative, but this deck looks really slow. It's oh. Okay, so now we have the Yaks to worry about, which probably runs Creation. Let's take a draw first. Let's see what Lore Thief finds us. The King. And another Failed Experiment. You know what? I am feeling incredibly bold right now. Just get this Windfall down. We are going for the face, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to try and get as much value at this card as possible. I wasn't up to much else, to be honest. I was just kind of sitting and waiting. And now I've seen a forest. My hope is that my opponent isn't running Transformer Hard Removal because it demands more lands. I guess it's not too bad if it's just Skyak that's being played. Let's see if my opponent has it. Is that Frogify? Because if my opponent doesn't have Frogify, I'm in an amazing position. Magnus can hit face. Magnus could go for the Yak and stop the double collection. Just like such good options. I'm not going to go face actually. I'm just going to kill this Yak. Do I? Surely I do, right? This is just... It's a golden opportunity to get another Magnus down. 2 kings? That's unheard of. And then I could just creation the other Magnus. I can have 3 Magnus on the board. That is a thing. I want to draw. I do want to draw my failed experiment. Sorry, failed. I want to draw my Plague Bearer, so if my opponent does go for a creation combo, I can answer it. This is annoying. I can't really do anything about this, to be honest. I might just kill 1 Yak. I'm not going to kill both of them. Just double neutral up, swing. Get a face hit in, just start just putting the pressure on, just saying, you know what, you need to deal with this Magnus. So he's just going to start pummeling the orb, giving me value. Archon draw. Okay, let's kill this one first. Hello, hello. Alright, we are saving creation. That's for sure. That's Storm Spawn, though. The 0-cost Storm Spawn. It's pretty good. So just heal this back up. I need to do stuff because... Now I don't feel like I need to keep this anymore. Simply because I can Dave the Dragon's Garadan and creation it. So let's just bring my hand size down. Because hits onto these are obviously going to draw me cards, and I could mill if I'm not careful. Move this in. Frogifying this is not bad, actually. It just eliminates a Yak. Sure. Okay. All right, that was a bit of a funny turn. I had a couple of like plays in mind. I didn't tie them all together before I actually made the plays. But with 2 kings down, I have Dave the Dragons, 0-cost Dave the Dragons now. So Garadan is 7, just a 7-cost for me when I need it. I can creation it as well. It's pretty solid. And I have slowed down this. It's going to kill the Aurora. Yeah, the position of the Aurora is off then. So that wasn't a clean turn. That was a pretty bad turn for me. But in some ways it was still strong. I still had a lot of strong options. Twin Soul Spirits, okay. Okay. So we can move this into double collection and clear this guy. We can take a face hit. And these 2 will finish it off. But I'll get a lot of draws. Not the best. But it's fine. That's alright. I'll take a 0-cost Archon. No, we can't kill it. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not gonna. I could have made a Garadan play. But I guess I should have made a Garadan play. Why not? What's my opponent going to do? Just play another Yak? I guess I was a little afraid of the other Yak. But yeah, I could have made the Garadan play because I drew the failed experiment. So I should have assessed the situation for, actually, I have failed experiment. I have Plague Bearer. I can just fail experiment as Plague Bearer a big Yak turn. It's going to creation Iona. Madness. Okay, I'm just gonna fail the experiment here. Why didn't I draw that? Feels bad. Okay, so I can't hit this. It's really sad. I can move this into a more aggressive position. Let's cover this lake. And then we'll go for failed experiment. There's one off lethal as well, which was kind of sad, with the Day of the Dragons into Tephra. So yeah, it's failed experiment. Let's get rid of this. Let's get Magda down. Don't want to draw any more cards. I'm a little worried about that. Let's just pass. I think I just win off this. I could have played this game so much better, so much cleaner. And I'm sure you guys in the comments are like, Akko, what are you doing? You madman. Why did you miss this line? Or why did you miss this line? But, you know, I'm having fun with the deck. It's just a lot of fun. And we take another win. So, looking good so far. Magnus and the gang. Dream of Dragons. Fantastic deck. Let's get on to our next one. Alright guys, another match. Let's throw all these away. You want those Lore Thieves, Gabrian Archons. I don't mind Plague Bearer so much. It depends what matchup it is. We're going up against... Well, I guess we'll find out which line comes out. I wasn't expecting the Sky Yak deck. I was expecting something along the lines that S of Dawn played against me in Become a God a few episodes ago, but nope. It was a Skyak deck, and fantastic. Our opponent's playing a slow deck. That just benefits us greatly. We have just a greedier deck, so we'll just win any kind of late game. Willow, gonna come down. Yep, that's absolutely fine. Lorphy, fantastic. Fantastic. Let's draw those cards. And an Archon. Feels good. Just going to keep that Archon in hand. Because I'm not going to double neutral to the left anyway. I can play Archon next turn if I decide to go to the left or left well. Can I go Lake? Yeah, I can go Lake here, play Archon, then Lake here and collect. And I'm collecting off my own wells. I'm only one land away from Aurora's Dream then. And I can just sit back, relax. Build up enough Faeria to dream, and then just start going nuts. There's going to be another a green-blue deck. Alright, so what's this guy doing? He's a 5/5. Alright. Another experiment. This does open up some options with the Plague Bearer now. Go into the Archon. We can pass. Now, we could have went for a different line there, where we played the Archon on the spot where the Lore Thief is, built a lake above, and then got into failed experiment Stormspawn Yak attack, I guess, and just clear and just have a couple of Yaks running around, but didn't like the looks of that play. If I had a Windfall in hand, I would have went for it instead, because I would have went Windfall, failed experiment, Stormspawn, Windfall, turn to a 6/6, make that last land, zip up there, finish off the Octopus. But now instead, I'm just going to collect off my own wells. I'm just going to relax and let my opponent come to me. I don't really need to do anything just yet because I can just use Magnus, I can use the dragons as a way to find a win condition and get Magda down to generate additional value. I feel like I'm in a very strong position. If my opponent continues to play slow. And right now, that's all my opponent's up to, so it feels good. Very easy turns for us right now. Sit back, collect, see what happens. See if I need to play a Plague Bearer, or maybe I need to... I can go Plague Bearer into a failed experiment Plague Bearer, and that will do a 4 damage AoE. So I have like a big AoE. Like that's bigger than Garadan, that combo. It just costs a lot more cards. And that still leaves me with a failed experiment for Stormspawn. Now I'm really curious to see what my opponent gets up to next, because that may determine the course of the game. Because my opponent's next plays are going to say if my opponent's going to play more aggressive or play more defensive. Does decide to go forward. Does build forward now, you know, anticipating. Oh, I don't like this. Unless there's a Frog Tosser, I don't like this land. Because he's just opened himself up to Aurora. Which is not good. I don't know. I mean, I could double neutral and just hit the Willow. Start chipping away at it, and then play Magda on the left-hand side. I don't mind that so much. But I get to collect an additional Faeria. I can move this back out of the way, and then I can play Magda. And just start... Just force a Frog Tosser at this point. Just force my opponent to have an answer to this. Because if it doesn't... If my opponent doesn't have an answer, I start generating good value, depending on what legendary I pull. Does get the clear. That's fine. It's in store. It's in the Plague Bearer range now. My Frogify, which is not too bad actually, because I can double collect on the follow up. Yeah, I'm okay with Frogify. Frogify's absolutely fine. Another power up, perhaps. A failed experiment into Plague Bearer is actually pretty cheap in terms of AoE. Faeria wise, it's cheap. Card advantage, it is quite pricey. Oh wow, okay. If only this could get to the water elemental somehow. I could go for like a yak attack play. This can double collect. Pretty good. I can Aurora this and just finish this off. But then I'm still stuck with this problem. Unless I use 2 Yaks to kill this, and then Aurora 1 Yak to kill this, and just leave this alone. There's also the option to Plague Bearer, right? I can still go for the Plague Bearer line, and I do wipe the board. But time's running out here. I need to decide what I want to do. I like a board clear, which means I could just take a draw. I never failed experiment. All right, so we can take the hit, play a Plague Bearer, failed experiment, into a Plague Bearer. And enter. We've seen a Frogify. We don't want to play that Storm Spawn. That's very dangerous. I can still failed experiment into a Storm Spawn next turn for a big Faeria boost. And now I have Yak Attack Aurora as an option if I need it. And my lands are in pretty good positions to at least challenge my opponent's creatures. The ones I can't reach are in the top right hand corner. Oh wow, okay, just gonna pass there. Take a draw. Yeah, that's fine. I'll match, I'll pass, I'll keep passing. I have a very explosive win condition. So I'm absolutely fine with just passing back and forth here. I have Aurora's Dream ready. I have the Faeria for it. I just need to draw it at this point. The failed experiment's a little sad. I'd like to draw another Storm Spawn beforehand. Okay. It's pretty good. Alright, we'll take the Storm Spawn now because I need some space in my hand. Get things going. Draw 2. Could draw 2 again. Oh, I could get an Archon down. It's pretty good. I'm now deciding, do I creation this Archon? It's hard to say. Because Archon is a win condition. That's something to consider. You know, let's do another Lore Thief. Let's see if we find a Storm Spawn. That's exactly what I wanted. I don't need to reveal that just yet. I could just play the other Archon. You know what? Let's just pass. Let's just pass. I'm okay. I'm cool. Because if this Archon does get removed, I do have the option of going for a future, another Archon in the future, and then creation that one. It gives me an opportunity to get an aggressive land. Are we going for Tree of Life? Okay. A little problematic. I do have Yak attack. Now it's not really an option because of the whale. Yeah, that's not good. And the other Archon would have made a difference in some ways. Okay, so I can Aurora. I guess I can clear the tree on the follow-up. If I just do this. Let's take a lake, actually. I don't want to be too transparent with what I'm up to. We can just take the... I think we just take the Faeria ramp now. I don't know, do we even need to? Probably not. Yep. We'll kill this. We get our Archon back. And we'll just play another Archon. Because why not? I mean, we can still go into Windfall, Failed Experiment. We have Frogifies in the deck as well. We can handle whatever big guys decide to come down. Frog Tosser. Oh, that's kind of brutal, actually. That foils my plans. Unless it, no, I feel like I'm okay, actually. It's not too bad, because I can move here, double neutral. Yak, yak, yak. Move, creation. Aurora, and clear. And I can kill this in the meantime as well. I just leave this frog open. But I can use this yak to kill the frog. That's fine, okay. Let's get all this Faeria now. Clear this. Move. Oh, I could have collected. Oops. Oops. It's okay. It's okay. No one will know. It's absolutely fine. Boom. Boom. No, it's fine. We'll just clear that. Now, I could have created the Archon, but I did decide in the end that I just leave my creation in hand, right? Because I can make this a 6/6 with Aurora, and I can push 12. Could just see a Frog Tosser come down. Frog Tosser's not bad, but I'm potentially quad collecting. Oh, Chaos. Okay. I have an answer to Chaos, thanks to my creation. Aurora the Aurora. Right, why not? And then we have Magnus, which can give it potentially draw us a 0 cost. Dream? +1. Frog Tosser. This is a strange deck. I must be honest. I'm very interested to see this build. It ran Tree of Life and Chaos. Ran both of them. All right. I guess it doesn't matter, right? Let's see what Magnus gets us. All right. Oh my days. Just like full. Oh, I'm just making space, guys. That was awesome. Let's be real. That was awesome. What an awesome way to conclude that game. Looking good on a win streak. This deck is so fun. Oh my goodness. I am so happy with this change to Day of the Dragons. It's just fantastic. I'm just overwhelmed with how cool this deck has become. Yeah, that's just great. Let's get on to another one. Alright guys, into another match. As you can see, my rank has increased. My last opponent did surrender before we could even get into the mulligan phase, so I didn't have the opportunity to play against them. And that is where I gained that extra rank, so I'm not letting you guys miss out on any craziness that this deck is producing. It's just, you know what happens. You know, sometimes they just surrender. And maybe because they know I make a lot of content, and a lot of my matches do feature on the YouTube channel and don't want to be featured, which is absolutely fine. I can appreciate players who want some privacy when playing their games, and I don't want to be exposed to the internet. Alright, so how are things going so far? Pretty good. Let's get this Lore Thief up into this position. Now, I've decided that if my opponent builds a creature here with 6 life, I am just going to lake and finish it off with an Aurora combo. It's going to be a lake though, okay. I'm interested. Okie dokie, we have a Shifting Octopus. So, oh, playing around Aurora, I like it. Well played, well played. I'm still going to do it, but I like it. And another Octopus is a 3/5 jump. Very interesting. I can just Frogify this. So I have a line. I do have a pretty good line, actually. I'm going to stick Aurora to this side. So I'm going to start building a lake here. We'll play Aurora. And then we'll go for the Frogify. And this actually can't kill my Lore Thief at the moment, and isn't in reach of the Aurora, so I can take the collection off both wells and be pretty happy about it. I've seen a lot of green-blue today. Does jump across. Gonna see an Enchantress go for the clear. I like it. Nice and clean. Sets up a double collector as well, which can threaten to place aggressive lands next to my orb. It's pretty good. Now, if only Aurora was here, if I decided to build Aurora here, I could have responded to this by creation my Aurora and finish this off. But unfortunately, I went for a different line. So now instead, Aurora's just going to collect some Faeria. I just pass. I have the Failed Experiment Plague Bearer combo, so if a board does get out of hand, I do have some form of defense. But if this is an enchant deck, it's going to be a lot of high life creatures, and I might struggle, so we'll have to see what happens. I like passes, just keep passing for me. Let's take double neutral in here. Move that into the double collection, and we will pass. Like I said, if anyone wants to play slow against me, I'm all for it. It's just giving me more opportunities to draw towards that Aurora's Dream. Frog Toss a very good answer here. Just gonna finish that off, and does set up a very deadly board actually. Because this is quad collection, and I can't allow that to stand. I'm gonna have to take a draw. Another failed experiment. Not good, but what can I do? I could creation this. I could just creation this and go for a full board clear. But I can play the Archon in this place, which is fine. So let's do this. Right, I'm gonna have to windfall here. I'm pretty good on Faeria overall. I do want to challenge this. I might even creation, because my hand's so bad. If I lose this, I might be in a lot of trouble. So I'm gonna creation this. I'm gonna stick this on the other side. And it's just because my hand's so bad. Like I drew the 2 failed experiments. I didn't draw the storm spawns. Really needed the storm spawn to get going. Now, at least if I lose my left side Archon, I still have my right side Archon to double collect. and apply pressure. If I draw a Windfall or a Storm Spawn, it puts me in a very good position because these Archons are going to turn, and I'm able to potentially challenge any threats that get developed. Worst case scenario is they both get cleared. So this takes like an Elderwood Embrace, finishes this off, and then a Frog Tosser finishes this off, and I probably can't win from that position, just because it's just been so much pressure. However, if one lives, I'm okay, I think. I feel that as long as my draws are good going forward, I can make something happen. Keep me in suspense here. It's going to be Faeria, okay. Faeria's just going to dig deep into that deck with the Urn. I would like to play Faeria. I really would. Because I could Yulanis into Archons. Like, I could turn all my Lore Fiefs and stuff into Archons. Would be pretty cool, actually. Frog Tosser. Oh, that is rough. That is as bad as it could get. I don't really see it getting any worse than that. Magda's actually okay. No, she's not. This frog can get to her. Just trying to figure out how I actually come back. And I think I'd need Day of the Dragons. Day of the Dragons into Failed Experiment Garadan. A little ambitious. I could draw another Plague Bearer, I guess. Like, Plague Bearer could do it. I'll see if I draw a Plague Bearer, because then I could Failed Experiment Plague Bearer and at least kill most of the board. It's just the biggest problem is my opponent is quad collecting at this point. We do know there's some form of enchanting going on here, so we could see a very big creature show up very soon. We could just see Willow into enchant. That would be pretty devastating. Or Deepwood Grizzly into enchant. That's pretty strong. Failed Experiment, Storm Spawn, Windfall into Magnus as just a defensive card. Just giving me maybe an opportunity to draw Dream. That could be a good out for me going forward. Because now at least if this doesn't get frogified, I could draw Dream, and then I could draw Day of the Dragons, and I could Day of the Dragons into Garadan, and that could give me a chance at least to come back. I should have played it. Maybe I played it away from the Grizzly. Drew a Frogify. Maybe I should have played it here instead. Yeah. Played it here instead. Try and get as much value. But I opened... Yeah, that play was bad. Because I opened myself up to the enchant. I should have played it here. Still digging for our friend. The Plague Bearer. It's not helpful. I mean, I can... Yeah, I'm just gonna throw in the towel here. I'm not sure if the... Ultimately, I don't think the Magnus by here made a difference. I would have still lost, but it was the correct play. This was a misplay from me. But yeah, we do take a loss. Unfortunately, let's move on to our final match. All right, last game, guys. I'm gonna keep Plague Bearer actually. Could be useful. Ugh, I never want to draw this card. I want to draw it later. Or Magnus to find it like earlier. But nah, I don't want to draw this. Feels bad, guys. I'm going to start here this time, since we're going first. And it's a good precaution against rush, generally. It'll allow me to... I can build kind of semi-Archon lines if I need to. But yeah, we're just trying to... Ugh, that's not good. Speak of the devil... There he is, the old Archon. Playing the Grand Shaker if I play the Lore Fiefs, so I feel that the Archon's probably just fine here for now. I'll play Lore Fief on the opposite side next turn. Play super defensive. Our opponent's playing slow as well. I'll take it. Like I said, as long as my opponents play slow, it puts me in a very good position. Might see Ground Shaker come down. Maybe next turn. Ground Shaker Flame Burst is pretty strong. I thought I could hear a Kupo lurking in the background. She might cause some chaos again this episode. So I'm going to give you a heads up warning this time. Alright, failed experiment. That's okay, as long as I draw that precious Storm Spawn. Storm Spawn in this matchup is pretty good actually, because I can play it as a body, just put it down as a creature, and hopefully you can get some value, maybe deal some damage to something before it goes down and generates me some Faeria. But also, if it's able to collect, that's even better, because I gain additional Faeria from its collection, reducing its cost, and then getting that big Faeria fund there. I think it's just Ground Shaker Flame Burst from my opponent. It's pretty solid. Bloodsinger. Okay. Bloodsinger Ground Shaker. Okay. This is where Trick is. Trick in this kind of matchup is fantastic. Let's take a lake. I can failed experiment. See, the problem is my opponent's playing burn, so I've just discovered my opponent's playing burn. So the chances are my Storm Spawns to die is very slim at the moment. But I do turn this, and I do protect my Archon. It's probably worth it. I can do this, crack that open, play the Storm Spawn, and turn this. And this does challenge the Ground Shaker. Next turn, I might just go double neutral in this spot. So I don't like building from my side of my orbs, because my Archons don't have a lot of reach. I can, double neutral here, move this up, and start slowly pushing that Storm Spawn towards my opponent. This gives me a better Hellfire Soak as well, and doesn't leave me so vulnerable to that Flame Burst. Or potential Firestorms. Like, if a Firestorm... If my opponent was a Firestorm next turn I hadn't turned, I'd lose my Archon that way as well. Which is going to be a pass. The only problem is, now that my opponent has established his burn strategy, I'm having to build lands to get value, rather than draw cards, because I don't feel I can just sit around. Unless I draw Radiance. If I draw Radiance, I'm in a pretty good spot, because I can just Radiance Creation and just get back into the game. Which may actually just be the best thing for me to do, now that I think about it. I'm gonna just chill, draw cards, find Radiance, be happy. We'll see. Stormspawn becomes far worse. Not Stormspawn, Plaguebearer, sorry, becomes far worse now. Because there's not going to be a lot for me to get value on the Plaguebearers, and as long as that Bloodsinger's around, I have the problem of taking damage every time it happens. So there's a creation. Do I even care about killing this right now? I don't have a replacement creature. So yeah, so let's just bounce back. Let's just keep collecting, and then I'll just I'll start drawing cards. Let's get towards that Radiance. It's gonna be pretty important. My Archons being turned is really helpful going forward, just because I can play creatures that can challenge Ground Shaker. Bloodsinger's gonna retreat. I see like a Brute come down. Yeah, Brute's pretty good. Yak attack. Alright, take it. I'm not gonna collect because I do have the Aurora clear on the Brute. I will get value out of this. Day of the Dragons. Not that helpful in this situation. But then again, if I clear this, I get to dream. If he clears this, I get to dream next turn. And this is not bad. It's not a bad hand to dream. So let's do it. You know, you can do what you want. You can clear this if you want to. That's fine. I can like Yak attack to regain my Faeria. I could have Aurora'd it just to kill the Brute, but then I just delayed the Dream. Dream lets me dig deeper into my deck, and it also allows me to get Day of the Dragons off, which is going to be very helpful. If I draw a Windfall, I could even Day of the Dragons first, and then I could play Dream, and then I just have the zero cost dragons to make a giant Tephra. Like, that's probably just going to be my win condition going forward. Oh wow, I actually could have Retreat. Doesn't want me to get that value. That's cool. You know, I can go for the Aurora now. I'm a little suspicious of double Hellfire. I can Dream next turn. Just gonna pass. You know, I'm just gonna pass here. Combat creatures are not gonna get value unless it's a Horse Master. I don't have to worry about mobility. There's no yellow. Like, Horse Master's pretty much the only thing I fear. Crystal Flower. Crystal Flower is pretty terrifying, actually. Oh wow, giving me the Tephra spot. Feels good. And double neutral. Can clear out that Ground Shaker. A double Plague Bearer is pretty good. If I draw Failed Experiment, I clear my own Storm Spawn. And I get to kill the Bloodsinger, which is pretty good. Alright, I do have Dream as an option. Is it one worth taking? That's the question. I do want to land. I want to take this land now. I think I cleared this. For sure. And then I go for an Aurora on a Yak to kill the Bloodsinger. The Bloodsinger is a problem. Let's Dream. I don't want this. This is a thing. I don't want this card. Maybe I play a Plague Bearer. And then I Dream. So I have the highest chance of drawing cards. I can Frogify this, actually. Just limit the... I can Frogify this, I can Frogify this, keep my Archon alive. Maybe I just wait a turn. Let's Frogify this, at least. Let's just go back. I don't have enough time to figure out exactly what I want to do. But I do have the potential to board clear if I can work out a good sequence for a Garadan creation combo. Because if Stormspawn dies, I get all my Faeria back, which is going to be fantastic. I just need to be able to kill the... I just need to draw a Failed Experiment, ideally. Go for the Failed Experiment. Just Failed Experiment, Plague Bearer, kill my own guy, play Day of the Dragons, get Garadan, play Garadan, wipe the board, play Tephra, buffing herself, making her an 11/11, and then just try and go for lethal. Triple Hellfire is now a concern of mine. The Bloodsinger could have been a big problem. I really want to draw that Failed Experiment. It would make my life much easier. How can I do this? This is such a complicated turn. Creation. I want to save creation for Radiance mainly as well. Radiance is one to save the creation for. I can't clear this out. What's the point? Yaks. Yaks can go in. I can like clear this, clear this. These are actually pretty bad. I am gonna move in, I think, and just take a cheap shot at this. Let's get the ball rolling. You know what? And let's make it very hard for my opponent not to trigger everything. Triple Hellfire is a thing. Oh my goodness. Like, triple Hellfire is pretty terrifying. I don't know. I'm just a little concerned. I don't know, guys. I'm just out of my element here. I wasn't expecting to play Mono Red Burn. Could just have lethal. I lose my Magda, but I'm not that concerned about losing my Magda in some ways, simply because I just need space in my hand for Day of the Dragons at this point. Magda generates me random legendaries. Day of the Dragons I know I'm getting. Does what it says on the tin, you know? And I want that Tephra and I want that Garadan. Those two are super important. Even Azari is not bad. It just... Alright, can I give me that Faeria? Might take the 2 damage value on the Brute. I might have just set up the double Hellfire. I probably have. Like, I didn't really see a way to get out of this without Radiance. If I had drawn Radiance, it would have been pretty cool. Oh, what grappling hook? Safeguard, what? What's going on? Where's these Hellfires I've been worried about for so long? What is going on? I've been mind gamed this whole time. Radiance. Where are you? What are you doing? Alright, this is going to get frogified. That's fine. I can play Yaks. I can play Yaks and gain some Faeria. Let's just get some cards out of my hand. That's the plan. Because I want to... Alright, cool. Day of the Dragons. Gary. Let's move this. Let's get Gary here. Why? Oh no, of course. I've learned a valuable lesson today, guys. Oh no. Oh, let's build a mountain. Let's show we're committed. Oh my goodness, that's actually that's crazy. I didn't even think of that. I'm a fool. I should have played Lorfi first. Oh man, there's too many decisions in this deck sometimes. See, I've got Windfalls. Got Magnus. Yeah, okay. Double Flame Burst. Of course. So Creation Garadan. Because my Garadan's got Wildlands, I obviously create... Hang on a minute. Hang on. Where is Creation? Cypher's Wrath. Flame Burst. Yeah, I'm not too disappointed. I didn't draw Radiance. If I'd drawn Radiance, I probably would have just won that game, but it is a card game at the end of the day. It's interesting because Creation doesn't make an exact copy of that Garadan, because that Garadan has wildlands. It creates a copy of Garadan, which has mountains. So yeah, I should have thought about that first. A little unfortunate. Maybe I should have just Garadan, like play Tephra, not even bother with the Creation, go for like double Lore Thief, just try and get that Radiance. But I kind of mind game myself there. But that concludes this episode. It was a lot of fun actually, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too. The dream lives on, and I have a lot to learn when it comes to playing this deck. More mistakes are made during this episode, but you know what? I don't mind making mistakes. I'm not trying to play perfectly. It's not about it's not always about making the best plays. It's about learning. Learning from your mistakes will help shape you into a better player, and there's always plenty to learn when it comes to card games and strategy games and Faeria in general. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, drop a subscribe to keep up to date of when our content goes live. This is part 2 of a 3-part Will It Work special for this week, covering Dream of Dragons, a mono blue control deck with a lot of spicy inclusions following the loyalty patch. If you didn't see the first episode, be sure to check that out. So until next time, guys, take care and enjoy Dream of Dragons.